we've realized that the word argument in and of itself is something which is somewhat controversial or uncomfortable. And our understanding is that's because there are actually three kinds of arguments. Three kinds of argument, and each one serves a different purpose. And we get into trouble when we mix up one with the other. The three types go like this. The first type of an argument is what we're going to call, like an umbrella term, a debate. And in a debate, my aim is to convince you. Okay, I must convince you that you are wrong and I am right. And even if I don't convince you that you're wrong, maybe I will convince the people who are listening to us that you're wrong and I'm right. And as you can see by the cartoon, so then what we have is this situation whereby the yellow is kind of enveloping, engulfing the blue. It's a win-lose situation. And debates are very valuable and they have their place. We're not saying that a debate is a bad thing, but it's a different kind of argument from the one that we're aiming for. Second kind of argument, likewise different from what we're aiming for but equally valuable, is what we might call a negotiation. Again, it's an umbrella term for a discussion, a disagreement that begins with disagreement, but our aim is to decide. We want to either come to a conclusion, reach a consensus, make a decision together. And as we can see, sometimes the downside of being in a negotiation is that the yellow has disappeared and the blue has disappeared. And on the one hand, there's something beautiful about our harmonizing into a kind of green, but at the same time, it's not clear where our individuality lies, that we've kind of given up on our uniqueness in order to belong to this consensus. Which sort of leads us to an understanding which we've learned from Charles Herman, who interprets Robert Keegan, saying that the main drive of a human being is on the one hand to be unique and on the other hand to belong. And these two contrasting opposite drives live in tension one with the other. And the mensch is the person who is constantly addressing the tension between the desire to be unique on my own, stand out, and to belong, to be part of someone else and to give up on my uniqueness. So the third kind of argument, and it's the kind of argument that we are aiming for, is what we would call the healthy argument. And in the healthy argument, we may well use debating techniques, we may well look to negotiate, but our aim is to grow. Our aim is to learn. Our aim is to fill our tree with all the different coloured speech bubble fruit. And so I may not convince you, but that's okay because I'm not trying to convince you. We may not agree or decide something together. That's okay because we're not trying to agree or decide. What we are trying to do is to grow, is for me to learn from you and you to learn from me, and in that sense for us to be broader, to grow.